All right, we want to hit a little bit of exponential review as well as factoring review. So let's look at just some properties of exponents that we can use, okay? So let's say we had x to the 5th times x to the 7th power. If our bases of x are the same and we are multiplying, it gives us the right to just add the exponents. So the final answer on this, to really condense this down, is going to be x to the 12th power. And that's how we do it. Now, we could go beyond that and we could say, well, why is that? That's because x to the 5th is x to the 5th times x to the 7th, which is literally 7 x's multiplied together. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 x's, hence x to the 12th, because they're all being multiplied times each other. So that's one of the properties, right? If we are multiplying the bases that happen to be the same, we are allowed to add the exponents as a shortcut. Now, let's say we were doing division, okay? So what is our property here? If the bases are the same, so the x and the x, then that gives us the right to take the top minus the bottom, or kind of cancel them out to where they end up with the right space, right? So on this one, the 5 on the top and the x on the bottom, so I'm going to take 7 minus 5 and leave it on the bottom, so it's going to be 1 over x squared. Now, why is that? If you want to know the reason behind it, because I want you to know the shortcut, but I also, the reason behind it is literally this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's on bottom. And guess what? They will cancel. Every set of x's cancels. Now what are we left with? X squared, or 2 x's on the bottom, which is x squared. And really nothing on top. Well, it's nothing good. It canceled to a 1. That's where we get that from. But I want you to know the shortcut, right, that we can subtract. And then really, let's see, one of the other ones is, what if we do power to a power? Power to a power, if you recall, back from the days, we just get to multiply out the powers, right? So multiply out the powers, so you're going to get x to the 35th power on that. Just multiply out the powers. Now, why is that? Here's because you get x to the 5th times 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 x to the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times x to the 5th, right? So really, you got x to the 5th 7 different times shown there. And then we'll go back to our other property. What happens when the bases are the same? Start adding all those together. And there's your x to the 35th. So that's the properties that we want to use. Another one, what if we have x to the negative 5th power? Just remember that anytime that you see a negative, that means we get to take this whole thing and move it down or move it up, depending on what side of the fraction bar it's on. So if it's x to the negative 5th, then I'm going to rewrite it as x to the 5th, right? Well, what if it was 1 over x to the negative 5th? Well, if it's got a negative attached to it, move it up. So it's going to be x to the 5th above the fraction, or over 1 if you want to. And one other one, we got x to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So that's some of the properties that we've dealt with in algebra and advanced algebra. All right, let's try it now. Let's get really complicated, though. Here we go. Okay, here's your first one. All right, if you need to, write it out, hit pause, and then let's do this. So I'm going to kind of take this one thing at a time. I'm going to look at the top, and I'm going to try to simplify the top. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do it just underneath. Let's do top over here. So power to a power. Now 1, 2, 3 bases. So third power there, third power there, third power there. Right? So what is that going to give me? It's going to give me negative 2 to the 3rd power. A, we're at power to a power, it means multiply, 12th power. B, power to a power, multiply to the 9th power. All right, so that gives me the top. Let's talk about bottom here. Okay, what's on the bottom? Actually, I'm just going to make this a nice solid fraction bar. Okay, so I'm going to take numbers, could be multiplied times numbers. So that's going to give me negative 4. Base of A times the base of A. What do we do with the exponents when we're multiplying bases? We add them. So it's still A to the negative 2 because negative 2 is 0. Base of B, base of B. What do we do with the exponents? We add them. B to the negative 1 power. Okay, All right, now we're ready to continue on. All right, let's now work from this. Okay, I'm going to work this. This is just a number right here, right? -2 times -2 is +4 times -2 is -8. A to the 12th, B to the 9th, over, I'm going to leave this -4 down here. Now, I want to do something to this. This A, which has a -2, let's just move it up. When I move it up, though, what does it become? A positive 2. The negative just tells you to move it. B to the -1, what do we do with it? Move it up. B to the 1 power. Okay, let's continue on from here. All right, on the top, if bases are the same, what do we get to do to the exponents? Add them. So I'm still going to have the -8. We're going to have a to the 14th. And then here's a b, here's a b. What do we do to the exponents? We add them. B to the 10th over -4. All right, now we're about done here, except these numbers that are divided by each other, we can actually reduce those. -8 divided by -4, or let's try to reduce it. That's going to give me a +2, a to the 14th, b to the 10th over 1, 2, 1. And if we don't need to write anything over 1 if we don't want to, so we can write it like this. That's what that reduces down to. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Here we go. So again, it looks like the bottom is going to need to be worked out here because the top, there's not much we can do to it. So let's leave the top as it is. So I'm just going to keep this here, y squared. And on the bottom, though, let's talk about what it's going to convert to. So let's first do this, right? So -4 here, -4 here, and technically -4 to the -1, right? So there's technically that. So watch as I put that here. We're going to go 2y times -1 to the -4th x. Now when I go power to a power, we're going to multiply, and that's going to be a +16. Y, we're going to go power to a power, that's going to be -16. Right? So that's what that would end up looking like. Okay, now let's do some things, right? Here's what I'm thinking of first. The top still is going to be the top, so let me just leave that as y squared again, divided by, now let's see, what kind of movement or what kind of things can we do? I am thinking right off the bat, here's a y, it's really to the first power, and here's a y to the -16. So I'm going to combine those. I'm also going to go ahead and move this up, right? So when it moves up, it's going to be 1 to the 4th power, sorry, -1 to the 4th power, right? And it's really -1 to the 4th power. All right, so that moves up. Let's combine. Let's see, that's the 2, the x16 still stays there, but now I got y to the -15th because now the y's kind of make sense that way. All right, now let's think about what if I took this and it's got a negative power, so I want to move it up. All right, so, and let's go and work this out right here. -1 times -1 times -1 times -1. That's going to be +1, right? It's just going to change itself into a +1. So we got +1, y squared, y to the 15th, right? Once you move it up, the negative goes away, 2x to the 16th. All right, let's keep this train rolling. Y to the 17th over 2x to the 16th. And that's all we can do, right? Because the y's there's no more interaction with the y's, there's no more interaction with the x's, and everything's positive as far as exponents go. All right, let's do another one here. Okay, here we go. Let's do the top. I'm going to go here, got to hit that base, got to hit that base. Here, got to hit that base, got to hit that base first. On the bottom, nothing really to be done. So there we go, 2 to the -4, a to the +4 times 2 to the -4, b to the -4, all over -2, a cubed, b 4th. All right, time to start moving things, I think, right? Anything with a negative, I like to just go ahead and move it if I can't combine. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to move this down, and then I'm going to go ahead and move this down. All right, you ready? This is what it's going to look like. Here we go. A to the 4th on top over 2 to the fourth. Once you move it, it turns into a positive. Times negative 2, I'm going to call that to the first. A cubed, b fourth. Then I brought down another times 2 to the fourth, and then a b to the fourth. All right, so now there's a lot of stuff to combine on the bottom. So here we go. 2, there's a 2. I'm going to let that negative just hang there for a minute. 2. All right, so if all the bases are the same, what do we get to do with the exponents? We get to add them, right? Oh, sorry, the top is still the same, a to the fourth. So I'm going to get 2 to the 9th power, and I'm going to bring the negative out with it, okay? I don't see another base of a, so a to the third. Here's a b to the fourth, b to the fourth. So I get to add those, b to the 8th. All right, so here we go. So let's just leave that 2 hanging out there for right now. But this interaction right here, a to the third, a to the fourth, that means I get to subtract it, put it on the bigger side. So it's going to be a to the first, negative 2 to the 9th, b to the 8th. So a over negative 2 to the 9th. I'm not even going to work that number out. I'm just going to leave it like that. We could work that number out if we wanted, but that's going to be a big number. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and skip the next one. I think you get the idea. You'll get plenty of practice further on down here. All right, let's talk about factoring. In factoring quadratics, multiple ways to do this, but here we go. Let's do this one here. All right, when factoring, I always want to look for a greatest common factor. Is there a greatest common factor? I know that there's a p squared, there's a p, but then there's nothing here. So I can't pull out a variable, but can we pull out a number? Is there anything common? And if we can find the greatest common, that's even better. All right, so I'm going to even just use my calculator a minute. But as I do this, it looks like 6 is a common factor, and it probably is the greatest common factor. We'll know here in just a minute, because if I take 30p squared divided by 6, I'm going to get 5p squared plus 186 divided by 6 equals 31. So I'm going to get 31p plus 180 divided by 6 equals 30 at the end here. So now that we got the 6 out, we can now start to factor the inside. So the inside, typically, here's how people learn to factor this. When there's a number in the front, we usually do what we call factor by grouping, essentially, and so splitting this into 2 different numbers. So here's how we usually go about doing it. We take the 5 times the 30 and get 150. Okay, and then we take the 31 down here, and we got 31. What I want you to do is try to find 2 factors that multiply to 150 and add to 31. Okay, so let's try to do this. So what about if we did 15 and 10, right? So I'm trying to think, okay, 150. So 15 and 10, no, that's 25. What if we did 25 and 6? Oh, there it is. 25 times 6, it equals 31. So we think about 25 and 6. So these in the inside become the split of these. So watch this. Still got the 6 on the outside. 5p squared plus 25p plus 6p plus 30. Okay, now you get to do what we call factor by grouping on the inside. So we do 6, we're going to pull out a 5p, and we're going to get p plus 5. And then here in the second group, we're going to pull out a 6, and we're going to get p plus 5 again. So if you have the same parentheses, you know you're on the right track. So then it's going to be 6, p plus 5. You write that you write the parentheses that double up once, and then 5p plus 6. So there it is. There's your factoring completely. We have finished factoring the top one. Notice that 6 that came out early just kind of kept hanging around and came all the way to the bottom there. All right, let's look at this one. Factoring. So I'm always thinking greatest common factor. Is there a factor between 6 and 20? How about we do a 2? But also x squared and x, how about we also pull an x out? So if we do that, divide 6x squared by 2x, we're going to get 3x minus 20 divided by 2 is 10, and the x goes away. We're done. That's the best you can do. Nothing else can factor on either of those two components. Okay, let's work into the next one here. I'm going to do the same thing. Do you see any greatest common factor? Always think greatest common factor. How about a 3 and a p? Because I can pull a p out of both of those. It's going to leave me at 2p plus 3. And we're done. That's the best you can do there. All right, so how about this one here? So a lot of easy ones here. 3b squared minus 4b. It looks like we could pull a b out. And we got 3b minus 4. Best you can do. All right. So there's some factoring. I really would have hoped to see one more, but let me just add one more for you. 5x or x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay. So now a little bit different than what we did on the number 5 up there is notice there's no number in front. When there's no number in front, let's just go straight to the easy. Two things that multiply the 6 and add to a positive 5. Right? So start thinking about, so all my factors that multiply to 6 are 6 and 1, 3 and 2. 6 plus 1 would be 7. 3 plus 2 would be 5. As long as it adds there, we're good. So then these are actually just the shortcut is take the x squared and split it. So you put x and x. There's a positive 3 in one parenthesis. There's a positive 2 in the other parenthesis. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. You got it. Okay? That's the stuff we're going to be reviewing next.